Many observers today express concern that international law, which has been painstakingly constructed over 4 or 5 centuries and even beyond, has been weakened by inconsistency, selective application, and the growing perception that power too often prevails over principle. At the same time, there is a growing global call from scholars, diplomats, civil society, and nations of the global South for the restoration of legal universality, equal accountability, and the reaffirmation of human dignity as the foundation of international relations. It is within this context that our discussion tonight assumes particular significance. We gather not simply to analyze current events, but to explore the geopolitical, legal, and civilizational implications of Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, and the emerging multipolar world order. As you know, the MOU has been signed virtually, 14 articles, they're worth examination and critical appraisal, but in my respectful view, it is a tectonic shift in the global order. Our guest speaker tonight represents a nation that occupies a central position in many of the major debates shaping contemporary international affairs. The Islamic Republic of Iran stands at the intersection of questions relating to regional security, economic sovereignty, international law, diplomacy, and the evolving architecture of global power. We are therefore privileged to hear directly from His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, whose insights would undoubtedly contribute to a deeper understanding of these complex and consequential issues. We must know that history is not a linear concept, it is circular. History teaches us that enduring peace cannot be built upon power alone, nor can stability be sustained where justice is absent. The great challenge of our time is whether humanity can restore confidence in a world governed not by the principle that might is right, but by the conviction that law, justice, and human dignity must ultimately prevail. It is in this spirit that we welcome our distinguished guest this evening. I would like to formally set out the background of our distinguished guest so that the context in which he speaks is properly understood. His Excellency Ambassador Mansour Shakib Mehr had a very distinguished professional experience. 2006, from earlier on, a Deputy Director, Second Directorate of Western Europe, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Tehran, Islamic Republic of Iran. Between that period of 2009 and 2011, he was a senior expert, Department of Evaluation and Supervision, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In 2015, Deputy Advisor to the Foreign Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then 2019, Ambassador, Extraordinary, and Plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic to the Republic of Qatar in Abidjan, and then 2019, 2020, Director General of the Department of Personnel, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then 2024, Advisor to the Foreign Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Iran. And currently from 2024 to present date, he is the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic of Iran to the Republic of South Africa. So this is the very distinguished background of our honored guest to speak. We will have a very short introduction by equally a very distinguished scholar, Professor Syed Mustafa Daryabadi, who has been the cultural counselor of the Islamic Republic based in Pretoria. I've had occasion to meet him a few times, a very distinguished scholar, highly respected in the various universities of Iran. So he is a faculty member of Darul Hikmah Institute of Higher Education, a representative of the Institute for Research and Planning in Higher Education, as well as the representative of Iran Archives, Organization and National Library in South Africa, a board member of International Institute for Religious Studies, a director and chairman of the board of the International Institute for Culture and Civilization, and also a director of the Center for International Skills for Students and Teachers. He has written extensively on religious matters and attended international interfaith dialogues in the United States, Canada, and he's a lecturer in the Obstacles and Solutions of Marriage for Iranians out of Iran at McGill University. So it's my pleasure to now call on Syed Mustafa to give us the first introduction to the speech of His Excellency the Ambassador. Shah, you speak.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبه نستعين إنه خير ناصر ومعين. In the name of Almighty God, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we seek help only from Him. He is the best helper. Distinguished scholar, respected elders, honorable guests, brothers and sisters, I am truly honored to be part of this distinguished gathering. I would like to begin by expressing my sincere appreciation to the organizers and to the esteemed speaker tonight for his valuable presence and contributions. Your Excellency, the Honorable Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to South Africa, Mr. Mansour Shakib Mehr, also to all supported organizers, namely South Africa Palestine Movement, Islamic Forum, Palestine House, United for Palestine, the People's Publishers Cultural Group, Ansaar Foundation, and especially the CEO of the Ansaar Foundation, Brother Yunus Sakur, and also my dear brother, Advocate Hafiz Abu Bakr Nur Muhammad. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to address you today, and I thank you all for your kind attention. My job now is to just go to a very short introduction to Iran. If I were to sum up Iran in 2 words, that would be beautiful paradox. A country spanning 1.65 million square meters, larger than France, Spain, and Germany combined. Iran is the 17th largest country in the world, bordered by the Caspian Sea to the north and the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz and the Sea of the Oman to the south. In a single day, you can ski in the north and swim in the warm waters of the Persian Gulf in the south. With 15 neighbors, Iran is quite literally the crossroad of the world. Iran is home to 94 million people. Its population is predominantly urban, with capital Tehran home to 12 million people. While the majority of Iranians are Muslim, we are also home to vibrant religious minorities, Christian, Jews, and Zoroastrian, who have lived alongside one another for centuries, for 1,000 years. In fact, one of the oldest churches in the world, there's a matter of opinion, it's the first church or the second because of the 3, 4, 5 years, but one of the oldest churches in the world was built in Iran, and it remains a place of the Christian worship to this day. Iran holds 7% of the world's resources, oil, gas, and mineral reserves. But here is the remarkable part. Over half of its population is under 30 years old. And 65% of university students in the basic sciences and engineering are women. 65. Yes, you heard that correctly. Iran holds one of the highest rating of women in STEM fields anywhere in the world. Iranian women are not merely present in academia. They constitute 30% of neurosurgeons, 40% of nuclear specialists, 40% of nuclear specialists, and 50% of nanotechnology researchers. This means that half of the nation's scientific progress is carried on the shoulder of its women. You may feel it's interesting that Iran is the only country in West Asia to have indigenously developed nuclear technology, nanotechnology, aerospace engineering, and stem cell research. It ranks first in the scientific production in the region and stands among the world's top 10 nations in fields such as chemistry and mathematics. From domestically built satellites to advanced gas turbines, all have been engineered by young Iranian minds, often under circumstances that would have stifled innovation elsewhere. This while many still picture Iran as merely a land of oil and carpets. In medicine, Iran is not just a regional leader, but a global contender. The total number of the specialists and subspecialist physicians in the country exceeds 60,000, 60,000, and the growth rate of subspecialists is 3 times the global average. In open heart surgery, kidney, liver transplantation, and infertility treatment, Iran ranks among the top 10 countries worldwide. Names like Dr. Sami'i, Professor Sami'i, a neurosurgeon with over 20,000 successful operations, are well known in the international medical community. Remarkably, Iran holds a single-digit global ranking in the production of nano-drugs and biosensors, and has indigenously developed such of its advanced hospital equipment. 70% of all medicine available in Iranian pharmaceutics are domestically manufactured. 70%. Based on official statistics, the total number of the engineering graduates in Iran is estimated to be over 2 million. By training approximately 230,000 new engineering annually, Iran ranks third globally in terms of engineering graduation rates. All is the result of Iran's political system, which is that of an Islamic republic, a unique mix of faith and spirituality with democratic governments. The Iranian Revolution was not merely a political upheaval, it was a pursuit of the transformation from lack of spirituality before the revolution, 1979, to spirituality, from dictatorial monarchy to democracy. And above all, Iranians do not judge you. They bring you tea, Iranian tea, and insist you have another cup. Iran is the land of contrast, where the most ancient civilization, 7,000 years, the youngest minds, women of science, skilled physicians, and visionary architects come together to redefine the very meaning of coexistence. I'm here to tell you that the image of Iran is far richer, far deeper, and far more inspiring than what you see in the headlines. Thank you.
Thank you, Syed. I have the pleasure in calling upon His Excellency, Ambassador Mansour Shakib. And at the same time, I just want to brief you on the background of the program for tonight. It's not very focused or concentrated too heavily. It will be more after the introduction, a talk by His Excellency, the Ambassador Mansour, and thereafter there would be an opportunity for an interactive question and answer. And once more, we're going to have the Honorable Syed for us to give his talk as well. So there'll be a few minutes. And of course, there would be a question and answer session. And upon that would be a vote of thanks, some refreshments, after which a greet and meet session for about 40 minutes. And thereafter, His Excellency will proceed. So we hope to conclude by 9:45 tonight. Thank you. Your Excellency. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wa bihi nasta'in. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Mr. Program Director, distinguished guests, managers, community and political leaders, dear brothers and sisters, first of all, I would like to sincerely thank the organizer of this event for providing us this valuable opportunity. It is a great honor for us to be among the people of a community that stands as a symbol of the struggle against colonialism, racial discrimination, and injustice. The Islamic Republic of Iran and South Africa, despite the geographical distance between them, share many important values and ideals, including independence, freedom, justice, human dignity, and support for oppressed peoples. These shared values have created a strong foundation for friendship and cooperation between our two nations. Distinguished guests, since the victory of the Islamic Revolution in 1979, the Islamic Republic of Iran has faced many challenges and pressures because Iran chose an independent path that did not align with the interests of certain foreign powers. Extensive efforts were made to put pressure on the country. Only a short time after the revolution, Iran was subjected to an 8-year imposed war following the invasion by Saddam Hussein's regime. This aggression was backed politically, financially, and militarily by some foreign powers. Some of the old generation of this session remember this war. The war caused huge human suffering and inflicted heavy economic damage on the Iranian people. At the same time, Iran faced a wide range of extensive unilateral and unlawful sanctions, the effects of which directly targeted the daily lives and livelihoods of ordinary people. Despite these difficult circumstances, the Iranian nation continued its path of development and progress by relying on its determination, national unity, and a spirit of self-reliance. In the field of foreign policy, following the Islamic Revolution, the Islamic Republic of Iran adopted a new approach backing liberation movements and expanding cooperation with independent countries became key pillars of Iran's foreign policy. Dear friends, before the Islamic Revolution, there were close ties between the Shahs of Iran and the apartheid government in South Africa. These relations were particularly evident in the economic and energy sectors, and Iran was one of the major suppliers of oil to the apartheid regime at that time. Following the victory of the Islamic Revolution, this policy changed fundamentally. Under the direct instruction of Imam Khomeini, the Islamic Republic of Iran cut its relations with the racist apartheid regime and expressed its support for the struggle of the South African people for freedom, equality, and justice. As I mentioned, after the revolution, immediately after the revolution, Imam Khomeini ordered to stop relations with two entities and governments. One in South Africa and the other was Israel. After the end of the apartheid and the establishment of a democratic system in South Africa, official diplomatic relations between the two countries were established in 1994. Over the past 3 decades, these relations have been built on shared principles such as mutual respect, justice, South-South cooperation, and a commitment to multilateralism, and they have continued to grow steadily. Today, the Islamic Republic of Iran and South Africa enjoy strong and friendly relations. Cooperation between the two countries has expanded continuously across political, economic, cultural, scientific, and educational fields. Brothers and sisters, one of the important issues and concerns shared by both our countries is the question of Palestine. The Palestinian issue remains one of the most important challenges facing the conscience of the international community and a test of the world's commitment to international law, justice, and human dignity. Developments in the Palestinian territories over the past decades, from occupation and the expansion of settlement to the prolonged blockade, large-scale displacement, and the heavy loss of civilian lives have raised serious concerns about respect for international law and international humanitarian law. The Islamic Republic of Iran has consistently expressed its support for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people and has repeatedly stressed the need to end the human suffering and ongoing violence against civilians. Iran believes that all those who play a role in the continued violations of the rights of the Palestinian people or who provide political, military, or financial support for actions that violate international law should be held accountable before world public opinion and international legal mechanisms. The issue of Israel's unjust actions in Palestine is not a new one. Some come to say that the question of Palestine and the problem starts 7th of October. It has continued for more than 70 years. We believe that behind these actions stands the unwavering support of the USA and its allies. The same hands that finance apartheid in South Africa are today financing apartheid in Palestine. In this consistently taken a principled position in support of the Palestinian people. South Africa's decision to bring the case concerning Israel's actions at the International Court of Justice reflects the country's long-standing commitment to justice, equality, and the rule of law in international affairs. The Islamic Republic of Iran supports South Africa's initiative in bringing this case to the International Court of Justice and regards it as an important step toward strengthening international accountability and enhancing the role of global legal institutions. This approach is in line with Iran's anti-colonial and justice-oriented perspective and serves as a reminder that commitment to the principles of justice and human dignity can play a decisive role in confronting unilateralism and impunity. South Africa succeeded in bringing the occupying regime to an international court for the first time and demonstrates that no state should be beyond accountability under the international law. Distinguished guests, in recent years, growing concerns have been raised at both the regional and international levels regarding the expansionist policies of the Israeli regime and its efforts to alter the geopolitical and demographic realities in the occupied territories. The continued expansion of illegal settlements, the gradual annexation of Palestinian land, and the widening of military operations into neighboring countries have strengthened concerns that the Israeli regime is pursuing goals that go beyond security and is seeking to consolidate its geopolitical dominance and expand its territorial influence in the region. Maybe you have heard about the statement which raised by United States Ambassador to Israel. He talked about the Great Israel. The near total destruction of Gaza and the displacement of more than 2 million people following the events of October 7, as well as the killing and injury of more than 200,000 people, most of them civilians, including women and children, are among the tragedies associated with the actions of this regime. In this context, the continuation of these policies would not have been possible without extensive political, financial, and military support from the US over the past decades. Washington has played a major role in shaping the balance of power in favor of the Israeli regime by providing substantial military and diplomatic assistance and by repeatedly using its influence within international institutions. They use several times, 10 times, the veto against any decision, any resolution against the case of Israel in Security Council. Dear friends, last year the US and Israeli regimes launched a military attack against Iran under the pretext of Iran's nuclear activities. This conflict lasted for 12 days. During the course of the war, a number of our senior military commanders, scientists, and ordinary citizens lost their lives. In an unprecedented act, Iran's peaceful nuclear facilities were attacked and damaged. This took place despite Iran's full cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, and despite the fact that the agency had not reported any diversion of Iran's nuclear program toward military purposes. Two major powers, one of them is the member of NPT and used one time during the World War nuclear weapons against another nation. And another, which is not the member of NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty, and has lots of warhead, attacked Iran without any evidence and without any permission of international organizations. With no effective response from international organizations, especially the United Nations, and with many countries remaining silent, the US and Israeli regimes launched a second military operation against Iran on 28 February 2026. This conflict continued for 40 days. In both times, in 12-day war and 40-day war, we asked United Nations Security Council to condemn these attacks, but it's paralyzed because of United States decision. These two military attacks occurred while Iran had entered negotiations with the US in good faith on both occasions, seeking a negotiated solution to the nuclear issue. Through these actions, the US demonstrated a lack of sincerity and revealed its aggressive approach. They betrayed the diplomacy twice, and attacked to the negotiation tables. Distinguished guests, the military aggression carried out by the United States and Israeli regimes against the Islamic Republic of Iran constitute a clear violation of Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the United Nations Charter, and under international law can be regarded as an act of aggression and a crime of aggression. During the 40-day imposed war, numerous war crimes were committed by the United States and Israeli regimes. The martyrdom of the leader of the Islamic Revolution, the killing of civilians, including approximately 170 school children at Minab School, Shajar Tayyib School of Minab. Attacks on hospitals, schools, residential areas, infrastructure, and damage to the environment are among the crimes committed against the Iranian people. That was the month of Ramadan. And in that school, there were boys and girls and boys among 7 to 12 years. Some of them were fasting at that month. Following the martyrdom of the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and in accordance with the Constitution, the Assembly of Experts elected and appointed Ayatollah Sayyid Mujtaba Khamenei as the new leader. In light of these acts of aggression, the Islamic Republic of Iran reaffirmed its inherent and lawful right to self-defense under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. While some governments in the region have claimed that their territories were not used in operation against Iran, official statements issued by the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, shortly after the attack of 28 February, as well as various statements by American officials, including expressions of gratitude by the President of the United States and the Secretaries of War and State to several Persian Gulf countries, indicate otherwise. They thank several times and appreciate these countries, our neighbor countries, to conduct and to provide facilities for them to attack Iran. Brothers and sisters, the Iranian people, through unity and national solidarity, stood firm against this unlawful aggression and against the threats and pressure imposed by powerful actors. The armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran also fulfilled their duty in defending the country. Iran did not start the war. However, it will firmly defend its sovereignty, independence, and national security against any act of aggression and coercion. Countries that host American military forces and cooperate with the Zionist regime ultimately bear the greatest costs and consequences of such conflicts. The root cause of the current situation in the Strait of Hormuz is the military aggression carried out by the United States and Israeli regimes. Before these attacks took place, maritime traffic through the Strait of Hormuz was proceeding normally and without disruption. I want to ask Mr. Trump, what is the consequence of this war? The Strait of Hormuz was opened before the war, and he damaged a lot on Iran and the region because of the Israel. Under international law, the Islamic Republic of Iran, as a coastal state bordering the strait, has the right and the authority to take the necessary measures to safeguard its security and protect its national interest. You know, the Strait of Hormuz is in the territorial water of Iran and Oman. Therefore, the measures we have taken over the past few months have been fully consistent with international law and have been carried out to protect Iran's national sovereignty and national security. You know, as the Strait of Hormuz is in our territorial water, we cannot allow they use it against us, and we cannot tolerate there should be a source of threat against our sovereignty and our territorial integrity. We must ensure that the Strait of Hormuz, as one of the world's most important waterways, cannot become a source of insecurity for Iran. Those powers that have used this strategic passage in ways that threaten Iran's security must be held accountable. Iran believes that by strengthening cooperation, security, and development, it is possible to protect the legitimate interests of all countries in the region and lay the foundations for a new and more just regional order without the presence of superpowers and the powers which interfere in internal affairs of that region. Such an order should be based on the principles of regional ownership of security and freedom for the influence of extra-regional military forces. Following the doctrine of the martyred Imam Khamenei and under the leadership of the Islamic Revolution, the Islamic Republic of Iran, guided by the principles of unity, independence, and resistance, seeks to promote a fair and balanced order that rejects hegemony and domination, strengthens trust and cooperation, and encourage constructive dialogue and lasting partnership among responsible countries in the region. The Islamic Republic of Iran remains committed to engaging with all responsible regional states through constructive dialogue and sustainable cooperation in pursuit of this vision. Iran also emphasizes the importance of diplomacy, reducing tensions, and preventing the further spread of crises and conflicts across the region. We do not trust the sincerity of or seriousness of the United States. Despite this, we accepted a ceasefire proposal that was presented through our brothers in Pakistan as a mediator. However, immediately afterward, we witnessed violations of the ceasefire by the United States, including a naval blockade against Iran and Israeli attack on Lebanon. Difference. Since the beginning of the imposed war, the Islamic Republic of Iran has gone through many ups and downs. After a long and difficult period, and despite the other side's stated goal of destroying Iran's civilization, the situation has now reached a point where an understanding to end the war on all fronts has been finalized. The path of Iranian distrust toward the USA stems from the long history of harmful actions by the United States administrations against the Iranian people, dating back to 1953 and even earlier. In 1953, we had a national government of Dr. Mossadegh, who was the prime minister of Iran. He overthrew by coup d'etat, by a UK and American coup d'etat and coup. This history has created a profound lack of trust among Iranians. As a result, the USA still has a long way to go before it can earn the trust of the Iranian people. Therefore, the current understanding is only one step forward, a step toward reducing tensions and ending a war that has harmed our region, caused significant damage and suffering to the Iranian people, and imposed heavy costs and failure on those who initiated this aggression. The Iranian people have clearly demonstrated that they will make every effort to defend their country and protecting their dignity, independence, and national sovereignty. It remains to be seen what direction the future will take. The main goal of Trump was the regime change and to access and to have our natural resources, as they did with Venezuela. This happening misled them and had lots of miscalculation. They thought Iran is like Venezuela, and when they attack to kidnap the leader, the president of Venezuela, everything changed. But in Iran, it's not happened. After the assassination of our leader, the people come to the street to protest and to protect the government, to support the political structure. In general, it has been agreed that during a 60-day period following the signing the MOU, Iran and the USA will hold talks only on nuclear issue and in return on the lifting of sanctions. Last night they signed virtually the MOU by the President of Iran and President Trump. Distinguished guests, Iran is a country with a long and ancient history that has over centuries resisted every aggression and ultimately prevailed. Iran's political, economic, security, and oversight structures are well established and stable. Our people support the political system. It is about more than 110 nights that the people every night come to the street to support the government. Killing or assassinating officials and commanders does not weaken the direction of the country. The Iranian people remain tirelessly present and active in society, supporting their system. The loss of a great leader will never weaken the will of the Iranian nation to defend its independence, dignity, and territorial integrity. The narrative of Iran is different from one presented by the media arms of colonial power and supporters of genocide. It is the narrative of a resilient nation standing against injustice and against the arrogant behavior of the international system, a system that does not respect human principles and is only focused on serving the interests of a small oligarchy that dominates the American capitalist and liberal democratic order. Dear brothers and sisters, the Islamic Republic of Iran has always stood with the people of Palestine and Lebanon and considers this support a human, moral, and Islamic duty. We have paid a heavy price for defending the Palestinian cause. Our respected leader, military commanders, ordinary people, as well as our friends and allies in Lebanon, Yemen, and Iraq, have all made great sacrifices in support of the Palestinian people. If the Islamic Republic of Iran had chosen, like some countries in the region, the path of compromise with the US and the Israeli regimes, it would not have faced this level of pressures, sanctions, and war today. However, we believe that defending the oppressed and standing against occupation is a duty that cannot be ignored. Iran today is a stronghold of resistance in support of Palestine and all oppressed nations. Our enemies believed they could break the will of the Iranian people through political, economic, and military pressure and bring Iran to a fate similar or to some countries under siege and pressure. However, the Iranian people have shown that they will remain firm in defending their independence, dignity, and ideals. South Africa is also an important and influential country in today's world, a country that has its own historical experience in fighting discrimination and injustice. Therefore, maintaining unity and solidarity among popular and revolutionary forces is of great importance. Those who seek domination over nations always try to create division among independent and freedom-seeking forces in order to control them. Our message is clear. Unity, solidarity, and resistance against oppression are the most important assets of nations in preserving their independence and dignity. You, as members of Muslim communities and non-Muslim communities, as South Africans and supporters of freedom, have a moral and human responsibility to convey the voice of the Iranian people and their legitimate cause to the world. Just as Iran supported you during your struggle against apartheid with both material and moral assistance, today we ask you to stand in defense of and support the Iranian people. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Would the owner of this vehicle, ND, not ND anymore, BZ39VLZN, it's a black Mercedes-Benz. Please move your vehicle, you're blocking somebody. BZ39VL, okay, please.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Dr. Mandra is going to moderate questions from the floor. We have set aside about 45 minutes. After that, there would be another opportunity for the Honorable Mustafa to say a few words, a vote of thanks, after which an opportunity for you to mingle with the ambassador with some tea, etc. Thank you so much.
Do you have a roving mic?
Yes, we have.
Okay. So let's, maybe somebody can help us with the mic. Milo. So the floor is open for questions. Please keep it short. I'm sure many people want to ask questions. We'll start with Shabnam. Ladies first. Can take the mic. Okay. Okay.
Your Excellency, thank you for your presentation. Firstly, congratulations to the government and people of Iran for having tamed the mad dog. Having said that, in international diplomacy, usually enforceability is more important than trust. Now, the question relating to the MOU is this: what mechanism have you secured in order to ensure compliance, verification, and consequences for non-compliance? Who is going to guarantee that process? Is it going to rest within the UN? And if any history is anything to go by, that's the last place you can trust. So is it going to be Pakistan or a group of other countries to guarantee this MOU? And given the history of America and Trump, they can just walk out of any agreement, like you saw in the GCPOA, right? They can try to delay the process. They can try to suspend provisions. They can try to reinterpret the provisions in order to escape enforcing. So what mechanism is going to be there to ensure compliance, verification, and consequences for non-compliance? Thank you.
I think we'll take 3 questions at a time, and then the ambassador can. You do one at a time. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Is it on? Is it on? Assalamu alaikum. And our love and solidarity to Iran for being a growing giant in the global south. I have two questions as an African person. The one is, of course, we know that what we loosely call is not real, is extremely unhappy about this memorandum of understanding, and is therefore likely to initiate some sort of false flag attack, whether on a country in the Middle East or in Europe or in the US. What is your assessment of the possibility of this false flag attack in these circumstances? And then secondly, the question is around a potential coup in our own country, South Africa. We are, of course, seeing very disturbing levels of divide and conquer and chaos in our country right now, being driven through Afrophobia, but with a very clear Islamophobic thread running through it. You've alluded to the kidnapping of the Venezuelan president. What is your advice to South Africa to avoid what happened in Iran, where we saw the beginnings of a civil war, which was used to try and destabilize the country? So what is your advice to South Africa in that context? Shukran. Thank you. Siyabonga.
Maybe we can have a response to that while we wait for more questions. Okay, one more.
Hello,
One more.
sorry, one very different question. So you talked about, I don't know how you say his name, Mossadegh, your president, your prime minister in the 50s. So he was there was a coup by the MI6 and CIA. My question is, why has Iran been so targeted by the West? So it's about hydrocarbons. Let's assume it's about hydrocarbons. Aramco, Saudi Arabia is allowed to nationalize Aramco. Mexico is allowed to nationalize Pemex. Argentina is allowed to nationalize whatever it's called. But why was Iran not allowed to take control of their own hydrocarbons? Why Iran?
Okay. Yes.
In order to answer all your questions, I speak in Persian and my colleague interpret in English. اول تشکر میکنم مجددا از این فرصتی که در اختیار بنده قرار داده شده که مستقیم و بدون واسطه با مردم
should say that we don't trust USA.
چون تجربه داریم در این زمینه 2 بار به ما حمله شد در حین دیپلماسی من گفتم خدمت شما.
As I mentioned in my talk, twice has been targeted in last year, 2 times.
حتی اگر این توسط یک قطعنامه شورای امنیت هم به تصویب برسه آمریکا میتونه نقضش کنه، دولت بعدی امریکا میتونه نقضش کنه.
Even to be proved by the UN, but the US government can violate it, or the next government of the US can violate it, as they did.
مثل CPOA که ما داشتیم و ترامپ نقضش کرد.
As we had just CPOA and when the Trump came, just violated.
ما برای هر سناریویی آمادگی داریم، یعنی آماده ایم که برگردیم به جنگ.
So we are prepared for any scenarios. So we are ready to come back to if they attacked us again.
ما قدم به قدم پیش بینی کردیم، یعنی قدم به قدم آمریکا باید به تعهداتی که داده عمل بکنه و ما پاسخ بدیم.
We anticipate any steps, step by steps. We just looked at it in MOU and you will see in the MOA as well.
مواردی که تنظیم شده در این تفاهم نامه در MOU به نوبه خودش نوبتی است، یعنی آمریکا مثلا آمریکا باید محاصره دریاییشو برداره و ایران تنگه رو باز بکنه.
So all the contents of the MOU, if you see that it has been in a very organized one, for example, the blockade of the U.S. in the back of the Strait of Hormuz, it has been mentioned that it should be removed at the beginning.
بعد ما تنگه رو باز کنیم.
After that, we will open the Strait of Hormuz for the enemy's country.
تنگه در اختیار ماست.
The Strait of Hormuz is under our control.
هر موقع بخوایم میبندیمش دوباره.
Whenever we want, we will close it for the enemies.
این فکر میکنم بزرگترین گارانتی باشه که ما داریم الان در مقابل آمریکایی‌ها.
It could be one of the biggest guarantee regarding this MOU.
در 60 روز ما باید مذاکره کنیم و به یه تفاهم مشترک، به یه تفاهم برسیم در مورد موضوع هسته‌ای.
Within next 60 days, we should negotiate and we to reach to MOA, Memorandum of Agreement.
ما هیچ مشکلی برای بازگشت به جنگ نداریم. ما جنگ نمیخوایم.
We don't look for the war, but we have no problem if we go to war if they attacked us.
اگر دوباره به ما حمله کنن ما پاسخ میدیم.
If they attack us again, we will respond them.
سانسور شدیدی اعمال شد بر خسارت‌هایی که به امریکا و اسرائیل وارد شد در این چند وقت.
There is a heavily censorship regarding the damage that has been came to the Israel and to the U.S. military bases.
شما هیچ اطلاعاتی نشنیدید از طریق رسانه‌ها که چه خساراتی به آمریکا و پایگاه‌های آمریکا تو منطقه وارد شد.
You have no data how much there has been damaged all these military bases.
ولی من به شما میگم امریکایی میلیاردها دلار خسارت دیدن.
But let me say to you that America has lost billions dollars.
ما با یک درون 20,000 دلاری هواپیمای چند صد میلیون دلاری امریکا رو از کار انداختیم.
With the very with the $20,000 drone, we collapsed the 100 million plane fight jetters or missiles. Yeah.
خب این که گفتند اسرائیل ممکنه حملاتی داشته باشه، پرچم دروغین یا هر کشور دیگری، این محتمل ممکنه باشه، کما اینکه در طول جنگ هم بود. شما دیدید بعضی از عملیاتایی که شد علیه ترکیه، علیه آذربایجان، حتی عملیاتی که اخیراً علیه فرودگاه کویت انجام شد، به نظر ما همین فالس فلگ اپریشن بود.
Regarding the question of the false flag, the answer is that yes, there is a possibility of this. As we have during the war, many times it's happened. As an example, you can see those false flags that happen in the Turkey or the Azerbaijan, and recently in the airport of the Kuwait. We believe that even the Kuwait is a false flag. So all this is a false flag. It happens.
من فکر میکنم آمریکایی‌ها تشخیص میدن عملیات پرچم دروغین رو از عملیاتی که ما انجام میدیم.
I think that the USA will understand, recognize which is the false flag and which is the Iran's operation.
و ما نگرانی خاصی راجع به این موضوع نداریم.
And we have no concern, a specific concern regarding this issue.
در مورد سوال دومتون، خب من به عنوان یه سفیر کشور خارجی نمیتونم راجع به موضوعات داخلی شما نظر بدم و درخواستی بکنم یا توصیه به مقامات سیاسی شما داشته باشم.
Regarding your question about the South African problems or something like this, I as an ambassador, I cannot just interfere in inside job of the South Africa.
I cannot recommend the politicians. I know that they realize well what's happening in your country regarding to xenophobia and Islamophobia. Everybody knows who is behind of these projects. These are projects. I think these projects, and we should stand steadfast against these projects. And everybody knows who financed these projects. ما همه میدونیم که کیا این پروژه رو تامین مالی میکنن و کیا پشت این پروژه ها هستن.
We both know that who are just funding this project and who are behind these projects.
ولی میتونم بگم همونطوری که در سخنرانی گفتم همه رو دعوت به وحدت، به یک پارچگی، به احترام به قانون، اجازه بدیم که قانون و حکومت کار خودش رو انجام بده.
But my advice is just to address all to the unity and to respect the law and then let the law and the governance just to go with the problem.
ولی میتونم بگم که به خاطر ابتکاری که آفریقای جنوبی داشت در موضوع نسل کشی اسرائیل و کشوندن این پرونده به ICJ تحت فشار هست.
But one thing I can just mention is that maybe the South Africa is under the pressure of the files that he took the Israel to the ICJ.
و به هر حال مثل ایران که هزینه حمایت از فلسطین رو پرداخت کرده و پرداخت میکنه، ممکنه آفریقای جنوبی هم تحت فشار باشه به خاطر حمایت از بحث فلسطین و ارسال کیس جنوساید اسرائیل به ICJ.
As Iran paid the cost of the supporting the Palestine, there's a possibility that the South Africa is under the pressure of taking the case of the genocide of the Zionist regime to the ICJ.
اما به شما میگم این هزینه نیست، این سرمایه گذاریه.
But it's not the spending or the cost, it's an investment.
در مورد سوالی که کردن در سال 1953 حکومت دکتر مصدق کودتای آمریکایی انگلیسی علیه ایران و اینکه چرا فقط ایران مورد تهدید واقع میشه، خب این سوال باید غربی‌ها جواب بدن، ولی ما رکورد و سابقه خوبی از دخالت کشورهای خارجی در ایران نداریم.
Regarding the questions of the coup of the USA and Britain on that time, regarding the Mossadegh, who was the prime minister of Iran that time, I think that the Western should respond to this question, but we don't have a good record of their intervention to the inside Iran's job.
شاید به خاطر موقعیت ژئوپلیتیک و ژئواستراتژیک ایرانه.
Maybe it's because of the geopolitical and geostrategic location and position of Iran.
شاید به خاطر منابع خیلی زیادیه که ایران داره، گفتن حدود 7% منابع کل دنیا در ایرانه.
And maybe because of the resources that I mentioned in my lectures, that 70% of all the resources of the world is inside Iran.
یه نظریه‌ای هم در مورد هارتلند و مکیندر و اینا هست که اگه کسی این نقطه جغرافیایی دنیا رو داشته باشه میتونه بر دنیا حکومت بکنه که من بخوام راجبش قضاوتی داشته باشم.
The theory of the Hart and Mackinder that it has been actually part of the negotiation and article, but I don't want to just go through this.
ولی خود همین موضوعات، همین دخالت‌ها، همین اقداماتی که میشه نشون میده که ایران یک بازیگر مهمی در دنیا هست.
But all these discussion and topics, it shows that the Iran is a very important player, has a big role in all the policy of the world.
اگر ایران اینقدر اهمیت نداشت، این همه نقشه براش کشیده نمیشد.
If Iran was not important in that level, they wouldn't come with lots of plot against Iran.
مثل بعضی کشورهایی که در دنیا هستن و البته بعضی کشورها خب مورد توجهن. به نظر من آفریقای جنوبی یکی از کشورهاییه که مورد توجهه.
Likewise, other countries that have no, maybe such importance, but I believe that South Africa is an important country, and they will come to him maybe.
Maybe I can ask a question. There is some commentary that the 14-point MOU has been very strong on ceasefire violations in Lebanon, but not so in Gaza. It seems that Gaza is being isolated. Maybe some clarification on that? That's second question. Third question. Answer the question. No. Sorry. Question 2, 3, and then we'll follow up with you. Okay. Can I talk now? No, it's this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zulu. I am an international humanitarian activist, having just recently gotten back from the flotilla, 2026.
Wow.
I am also a council member of the provincial government in a social and moral regeneration council in KZN. Mine is going to be very small. Ambassador, I'm thankful for the opportunity to meet you and to have an engagement with you and with the rest of the community here. But I just want to ask, because when I went to Palestine, West Bank last year, I had an engagement with some of the officials from the PNA, the Palestinian Authority. I had that chance. And to my surprise, we had this engagement. I asked a question as to what is the supports that they are getting from the Arab League countries and countries around the Middle East. And I only learned then that the Arab League countries are not in support of each other. So I want to find out from Iran's perspective, what is it that they are doing to ensure that they restore the relationship with the brother and sister countries around them? Because I only believe that the unity of the Middle East countries will only be able to collapse the imperialist, colonialist Westerns. With that as well, I just want to find out if there are any programs, perhaps by the Iranian foreign ministry or by Iranian government, that seek to educate the communities and societies out of Iran. Perhaps like us in South Africa, is there any initiative that seek to disseminate information about the Iranian struggle in obviously the labor terms, so that we all understand what is happening in Iran, so that we can also amplify the message of Iran, just like how we are doing with the message of the Palestinians. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, one more. Yeah, third question.
Good evening, and thank you so much for the privilege to be here. For those who invite us, our friend in Palestine, Solidarity. My name, I'm Bishop Raphael Bahebwa, and I'm a leader of Congolese Solidarity Campaign in South Africa. Yes, Honorable Ambassador, we just want to ask actually much solidarity, because we want to know, as a Congolese people, a country which is leading now in genocide in the planet, among those ones who are in the same problem like us, how to build solidarity with your country, especially with your office in South Africa. This is only what I want to ask. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll have a response to those 3 questions. I think it was 3. Okay, so that's the third question. Fourth question. Okay, let's have a response to the 3, and then we'll take another round of questions.
I want to start with your question. ببینید هیچ کشوری نمیتونه در دنیا ادعا کنه به اندازه ایران در مورد فلسطین فعالیت کرده و هزینه پرداخت.
There is no country in the world to claim that more than Iran just spend and give the cost of the supporting of the Palestine.
اگر کشوری هست به من بگید ما هم بشناسیم.
If there is a country, introduce that country to me in order I know it.
من عرض کردم قبل از انقلاب اسلامی در دهه 60 امام خمینی موضوع اسرائیل رو مطرح کرد.
I just mentioned that before the revolution, the late Ayatollah Imam Khomeini just mentioned the issue of the Israel and Palestine in 1960.
خطر اسرائیل رو گوشزد کرد برای جامعه اسلامی.
And alarm every person and warn them about the dangers of the Zionist regime.
امام خمینی میگه فلسطین مسئله اصلی ماست.
Imam Khomeini said that the Palestine is a central issue for us.
رهبر شهید ما بارها و بارها من به یاد ندارم سخنرانی ایشون کرده باشه و به موضوع فلسطین اشاره نکرده باشه.
The martyr supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei mentioned many times about the Palestine. I rarely remember that he spoke and gave a lecture in public, but he did not mention the Palestine.
این فقط در مصاحبه و در سخنرانی نبوده، فقط در ورد نبوده، بلکه در دید هم بوده. یعنی در عمل ما کمک کردیم به فلسطینی ها.
It was not just in the word, in the interview or lecture, but it was in action and everyone knows that.
هیچ کس نمیتونه ادعا بکنه که ایران نسبت به مسئله فلسطین بی‌تفاوت بوده و بی‌تفاوته.
Nobody can claim that Iran was just neutral regarding the issue of Palestine.
شما هیچ کشوری رو سراغ ندارید که این جسارت و قدرت رو داشته باشه به اسرائیل حمله بکنه.
You cannot find a country nowadays just to be brave enough to attack Israel.
مستقیم اسرائیل رو به اسرائیل ضربه وارد کنه و به ماشین نظامی اسرائیل ضربه وارد کنه.
Directly attack it and bring lots of damages to the military machine of the Zionist regime.
حتما راجع به فلسطین ما حساس هستیم و در مذاکرات از طرف امریکایی خواستیم که اسرائیل رو مهار بکنه.
We are so sensitive regarding the issue of the Palestine, and in our negotiation we many times we just talk about it with the USA that just to control the Zionist regime in all resistant fronts.
و حتما شما مطمئن باشید فلسطین به عنوان یکی از موضوعات کلیدی ما باقی خواهد موند.
And the issue of Palestine was, is and will be a vital issue.
فکر میکنم که موضوع فلسطین فقط یه موضوع ایرانی نیست.
The issue of Palestine is not the Iranian issue only.
این موضوع حتی کشورهای اسلامی و عربی هم نیست.
And it's not only the issue of the Islamic countries and or Arab countries.
این موضوع جهانیه، موضوع بین المللیه، موضوع انسانیه.
It's a global issue, it's a humanitarian issue.
و همه کشورها باید نسبت به اون حساس باشن و واکنش نشون بدن.
So all countries should be sensitive regarding the issue of Palestine.
در مورد سوالی که فرمودن در این دوستمون که در کشتی سمود بودن، من تشکر میکنم ازشون و قدردانی میکنم از این اقدامی داشتن و از کسایی که این ابتکار رو داشتن و در این کشتی حضور داشتن.
Regarding the second question, and my dear brother who just mentioned that he was in the flotilla, I want to express my gratitude as a representative of the Iranian, because of his presence and the brave actions that he has done. Thank you very much.
باز تکرار میکنم ایران همیشه پیش قدم بوده در بحث وحدت اسلامی و رابطه خوب با کشورهای همسایه.
We were among the first countries that we just emphasized on the unity of the all Muslim country and oppressed countries,
especially in our region.
especially in our region.
We call for unity with our brothers and sisters in the Persian Gulf countries. ما فکر میکنیم که حضور قدرت‌های خارجی در منطقه عامل ناامنی هست.
We believe that the presence of the foreigner powers in our region is the key and cause of the problems.
دوستان و برادران ما در کشورهای همسایه به نظرم متوجه شدن که حضور آمریکا براشون امنیت نمیاره.
Our brothers and friends in our neighboring country, they understood that the presence of the foreigner power is not fruitful for them.
بلکه منبع ناامنی برای خودشون و ما ایجاد کردن.
And it is a source of the insecurity for them and for us.
من گفتم به شما 20 دقیقه بعد از شروع عملیات سنت کامپ یک اطلاعیه منتشر کرد و گفت ما از زمین، هوا و دریای کشورهای منطقه استفاده کردیم علیه ایران.
I just mentioned in my lecture that 20 minutes after the starting the war, CENTCOM just issued a statement announcing his gratitude to those neighboring country that they just gave the land, air, and the seas of their lands to for this attack.
در طول جنگ وزیر خارجه ما، رئیس جمهور ما با مقامات کشورهای همسایه در ارتباط بودند و صحبت می‌کردند.
During the war, our president, also the foreign minister, was just had lots of talk with the neighboring president and foreign ministers.
هدف ما پایگاه‌های آمریکا در کشورهای همسایه بوده.
Our aim was the USA bases, military bases in those neighboring countries.
And we targeted US assets in our region. و مایملک و دارایی‌های آمریکا رو در منطقه مورد حمله قرار دادیم چون منبع تهدید علیه ما بود.
We attacked the property of the US in that regime because they were the source of the attack to us.
The source of threat against
to
us.
us, yeah.
اینی که گفتن من تشکر میکنم در بین کشورهای جهان واقعا مردم آفریقای جنوبی همبستگی خوبی رو در طول این مدت با ایران اعلام کردن، نشون دادن، با حضورشون در فضای مجازی، حضورشون در خیابان، تظاهراتی که داشتن، همبستگی خودشون رو با ایران اعلام داشت.
As I mentioned, the South African people they showed very good solidarity with Iranian in different aspects. In social media, you could see also in the street demonstration that they had.
من در مصاحبه‌ام با رادیو الانصارم گفتم که مهمه که شما روایت ایران رو بشنوید.
I mentioned in my interview today with the Ansaar radio that it's very important to listen to the Iranian narration.
و در مقابل روایت آمریکایی‌ها و اسرائیلی‌ها که از زبان رسانه‌های غربی گفته میشه توجه نکنید به این روایت ها.
And you should pay attention to the narration is coming from the Western mass media.
و اونها روایت اسرائیل و آمریکا رو منعکس میکنند.
Because they just narrate the narration from the Zionist regime and USA.
شما ببینید بعد از 7 اکتبر اینا یه هیولایی از حماس ساختند.
You can understand that how they did it regarding the Hamas. After the 7th October, they said that the Hamas is a
monster.
Monster, yeah.
They create a monster from Hamas and present Hamas as a monster to the others. This is the narration of Israel and Western countries. خب مردم فلسطین حق حیات دارن، حق زندگی دارن، حق تعیین سرنوشت خودشون رو دارن.
The Palestinians has a right to live, has a right to have a good life.
من گفتم موضوع فلسطین از 7 اکتبر شروع نشده، از 1948 شروع شد.
The problem of Palestine has not been started from the 7th October. It started 78 years ago.
1948. It started 1948 with the creation of a Jewish state and a state of Israel in our region. I don't want to judge about the creation of this state in our region, but we are witness in these decades, 7 decades, we are witness of crimes, violation of international law, genocide, occupation, and all the crimes that every individual can commit happened in the territorial of Palestine and the territory of Palestine. Yes.
Okay, I think in the interest of time, we're only going to take one question, and there will be time during tea time to mingle, interact, ask as many questions as you want. So no comments, just a urgent, burning question.
Thank you.
Lubna.
Thank you.
No, sorry, Mr. Jacobs.
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Unfortunately, I have to make a statement as well. I think it will be an injustice if I didn't say one or two things. Number one, thank you, Ambassador, for your excellent overview of the situation out there. I'm sure your leadership have given it a lot of thought. And I think we should appreciate that when you take action, when you make decisions, these are not taken lightly. Yep. If you attack your Arab neighbors, it's not taken lightly. It's taken seriously and all the consideration. It will be a miss of us here today, this audience and the whole of South Africa, not to express their sympathy with the people of Iran, that the suffering, the murder, the slaughter of children, convey to your Foreign Affairs Department, your President and leadership, that we in the world are sympathetic. We understand this is a sacrifice that you are making on behalf of all the Muslims of the world. This is not a small thing. This is a major event. Yeah. We congratulate you on standing up to this monster, this Western fascist terrorist organization, and Israel amongst them. You had the guts to do it. Today you are fighting on the international level. You are fighting ideology. You are presenting a different ideology. And that is the important part of all of this as well. I'm going to ask you a question. Just to make it legal. I'm finishing off now. We see Iran in the leadership of the Muslim world today. We are not interested in little schisms and divisions and talk about division. Today, Iran leads the world and leads the Muslim world fighting for the rights of all of humanity, worldwide. The universal ummah that we believe in and the humanity in general. We are proud of your achievements. You have won the war, no matter what the Americans say. You have won the war, and you will make your imprint on this world. We hope that you can get your neighbors, your Arab neighbors there in particular, but the Muslim organization.
Mr. Jacobs, what's your question? Okay, let's move on. I want to clarify something. Mr. Jacobs, your time is up. Your time is up. Okay, please. Your time is up. Your time is up.
Thank you
for... We are going to end now. I just want to clarify that the Iranian struggle is not on behalf of Muslims only. It's on behalf of all the oppressed people of the world, regardless of their color, regardless of their religion, regardless of their gender, and regardless of their ethnicity. So this is not a Muslim issue, it's a humanitarian issue. Iran fights our battle on our behalf on all the oppressed people of the world, wherever they may be. So I want to clarify that, Mr. Jacobs, it's not a Muslim issue only. Let's have a response, and after that, we're going to have a few words from the cultural attaché, and then I hand over to a gift. Yes, we're going to unveil the book. Advocate A.B. Mohammed will preside over that. So this is the last response to that response or that question. I'm not sure whether it was a question or a commentary. And then we're going to close this part of the program and then move on to the next one, which is a very short program.
البته این سوال آخر خیلی سوال نبود ولی من دوست دارم راجبش یک توضیح.
Of course, the last question somehow was not the question, but I want to explain something about it.
بیشتر کامنت بود. ایشون گفتن محبت داشتن، لطف داشتن. من تشکر میکنم از اظهار لطفی که داشتن.
It was somehow a comment from the heart and from the kindness of my dear brother regarding the Iran.
ما ادعایی نداریم که ایران رهبری حرکتی رو در دنیا بر عهده داره یا رهبری میکنه.
We are humble enough to not to claim that we are the leader or we want to be a leader of the world.
دنبال رهبری هم نیستیم در دنیا، دنبال رهبری کشورهای اسلامی یا مستضعفین اینا نیستیم واقعا.
We are not looking to be a leader of some regime or the world or to say the oppressed people. No, we don't claim to be a leader.
ما فکر میکنیم که به وظیفه انسانی و اسلامیمون عمل کردیم و میکنیم.
We think we are just committing our duty or performing our duty, both Islamic divine duty and also humanitarian duty.
من گفتم که بعد از انقلاب اسلامی ما یاد گرفتیم که بر مردم خودمون تکیه داشته باشیم.
I just mentioned that we learned after the revolution that just how to rely on our people.
به جای اینکه امنیت رو از خارج بخریم، تکنولوژی و پیشرفت رو از خارج وارد بکنیم، بر مردم خودمون اتکا داشتیم و این به صورت بومی در کشور ما ایجاد شده.
In order to just buy the security from the abroad and or to just buy the technology from the abroad, we just came to rely on our own people and to come to the indigenous science and technology.
شما اگر نقشه ایران رو نگاه بکنید در طول هزاران سال ما هزاران سال تمدن داریم و در منطقه بودیم. هزاران سال، 5000 سال، 7000 سال گفته میشه که تمدن ایران قدمت داره. کشور ما خیلی وسیع بوده.
If you look at the map of Iran during the 1000 years and you check the history, you will see that the civilization goes back to 7,000 years. So we are there in that location for 7,000 years.
در طول این سالها اندازه ایران کوچیک شده و به شکل فعلی در اومده.
And during these 1,000 years, yes, it became smaller and now it's in that shape.
در جنگ جهانی دوم کشور ما توسط شوروی و انگلیس اشغال شد.
In the Second World War, our country has been occupied by the Soviet Union and the Britain.
با اینکه اعلام بی‌طرفی کرده بودیم، پادشاه وقت کشور ما به جزیره موریس تبعید شد و بعد اومد در جوهانسبورگ از دنیا رفت.
Even we are neutral in this Second World War, but they occupied us, and the king of the country has been sent to the exile. It came to the South Africa, Johannesburg.
ولی انقلاب اسلامی یک شخصیتی به مردم ایران داد که مردم ایران الان میتونن ادعا کنن که ما به عنوان یک قدرت نوظهور و به عنوان یک ابرقدرت مطرح هستیم.
But the revolution gave us the new identities that self-confidence, such as self-confidence and identities that we can say that now we are the new power and we have lots of power which is came from the ourself.
قبول دارم ایران به نمایندگی از تمام آزادگان جهان در مقابل بی‌عدالتی، در مقابل آمریکا و در مقابل اسرائیل ایستاد.
I accept and believe according to what you said that Iran stand as a representative of the all oppressed people against the oppressor and occupier.
ما این راه رو ادامه خواهیم داد
And
با
we-
اتکای به مردم خودمون.
We will continue this path by relying on our people.
اه، شیخ از من پرسید در مصاحبه که چطور موشک‌های شما از گنبد آهنین عبور می‌کرد و به اسرائیل اصابت می‌کرد.
The Sheikh Yunus just asked me in the interview today that how your message just could pass the Iron Dome.
ما اتکا داشتیم به دانش بومی جوانان خودمون.
Because we relied on indigenous science of our youth.
امنیت رو ما نخریدیم از کسی.
As I mentioned, we didn't buy the security from anyone else.
ما متکی به خودمون هستیم.
We are self-reliance.
Thank you very much. We are sort of heading towards the end of the program, and I'm going to hand over again to Advocate Muhammad to take. Imam, okay, so Imam,
Yes.
you have the
Ladies
privilege
first.
of
Yeah.
asking the
No,
question,
Imam,
the last
Imam.
question.
Imam.
The mic.
Where is the mic?
Because
Wireless
I
mic.
respect imams and ulama. I
Assalamu
respect.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu
Shukran for the event. I'm not going to make a long comment. It's very important that we connect the people to the right people. So when our common people can meet with the leadership, they can have a better understanding in a time where lies are taken as truths and truths are taken as lies. But the question is there any plan to have a continuation of this message to the wider public, like in our masajid, all of that? Because there are many people who are very misinformed. And to rectify the narrative is something which is very important. So that's the question. Shukran.
Thank you. بله ببینید از طرف ما هیچ محدودیتی وجود نداره در رفتن، صحبت کردن و ارتباط گیری با نخبگان، با مردم عادی، با جامعه مسلمانا، با سیویل سوسایتی. ما هیچ محدودیتی نداریم.
From our side, there is no limitation just to go and to talk to the people, allies, and ordinary people, to Muslim, any community. There is no limitation from our side.
و حاضر هستیم که در هر مکانی، در هر زمانی ما رو دعوت کنن حضور پیدا بکنیم و از ایدمون دفاع بکنیم و روایت ایران رو برای مردم توضیح بدیم.
And we are ready just to go anywhere that we receive the invitation and just to narrate the Iranian narration.
ما آماده هستیم در مساجد، در بنیادها، در دانشگاه‌ها در حضور پیدا کنیم و راجع به سیاست‌هامون توضیح بدیم، راجع به دشمنی‌هایی که علیه ما شده توضیح بدیم، راجع به سیاست‌های غلطی که وجود داره علیه ما توضیح بدیم.
We are ready to go to any university, any masjid, any foundation to just explain our policy, to explain how enemy just works and how they just some of our brothers just have a wrong policy.
But I think it is not just our responsibility to speak about the righteousness. It is all the people, everyone responsibility to give the right information and right data to the people, because we should confront and resist against the false information, fake news, and the narrative published by United States and Israel. You should listen to the narration of Iran and explain to your audiences, to your friends, to your families, to your community. It is very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to hand over the last part of the program, and Advocate Muhammad would preside over that. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed Manjra. And we at the tail end of the program. There are just two items left. One is for a brief background on a book that is to be published, War Before Words, on the contemporary situation. I must say this printing the instruction was given at 1:30. and it was done in 3 hours. So to offset printers, so inshallah, when the more copies will be that will be available. These are just sample copies. Copies. These are just sample copies, which Syed Mustafa is going to explain, and then we've got the the launch of the book, which should take just few minutes, and then also Shabnam Muhammad is going to give a gift to His Excellency Mansour.
Yeah. Allow me to begin with a question. Have you been ever in a dialogue where your words remain unfinished, and before you could conclude, the other party struck you with a fist? This is precisely what befell the nation of Iran on 28 February 2026, a war that commenced not with the declaration of the end of the negotiation, but with bombs and missiles, a war in which the schoolgirls of Minab between the age of the 7 and 12 were martyred before any diploma or soldier fell. Today in this hall, in the city of Durban, on the land that itself was scorched by the fire of the apartheid and attained freedom through the resistance, we have gathered not to glorify war, but to narrate truth, defend sovereignty, and honor the humanity. The book before you is not merely a political report. It is a mirror reflecting the collapse of the global moral order and a beacon of hope for resistance. And today I shall speak with you through the 47 windows that this book opens upon the words. The first part of this book comes back to a narrative, not a manifesto. This book is not a dry political statement. It is a documented human narrative born from the heart of the history of the resistance, from profound spiritual beliefs, and from the geopolitical of our worlds. The book is structured in 3 main parts. The first part, the title of the first part is From Revolution to Resistance. So it talks about the cultural and spiritual foundation of the steadfastness. In this section, the martyr leaders emphasize on national unity as a formidable bulwark wall or the barrier against the enemy. In the second part, the title is Escalation and Global Response, which is talk about the isolation of America and the solidarity of nations. The title of the third part is Law, Legacy, and Future of Resistance. And in this part, the book gives an examination of international law, sanctions, and space grounded in justice. Throughout the pages of this book, it is clearly demonstrated that the aggression against Iran is not merely a military assault, but an assault on the awakened conscience of humanity. And the phrase collapse of humanity in the title is a grave warning to international organizations and global silent observers. This book bestows upon the martyrs, the children, and the civilians victims and identify far beyond statistics. Chapters of the book address issues that were overlooked by mainstream media. 1, the environment tragedy of war. 2, the martyrdom of the leader and the meaning of the martyrdom in Iranian culture. 3, social solidarity of the Iranian people in crisis. And number 4, the destruction role of the foreign military bases in neighboring countries and Iran's warning to the host of the aggressor recorded in this book with this statement: you cannot host the attacker of your neighbors and they remain safe. So this book is the fruit of hours of deep reflection on history, culture, politics, and international law. These books carry a particularly profound and familiar message for the people of South Africa. Resistance against oppression is the sole path to dignity. Just as Nelson Mandela stood against apartheid, so Iran today stands against military bullying. A passage in this book quotes Mandela as saying, "If there is a country that has committed unspeakable atrocities in the world, it is the United States of America." And today, Ella Gandhi, the granddaughter of the Mahatma Gandhi, in a message to the author, declares, "My deepest condolence and dismay. They don't care about humanity, environment, or history." The choice of Durban for this unveiling is profoundly symbolic for me. South Africa is a cradle of the struggle against oppression, apartheid, and injustice. The people of this land understand better than anyone the meaning of resistance and the steadfastness against tyranny. Ladies and gentlemen, this book is not merely meant to be read. It is a trust placed in your hand. I hope that by reading it, we shall become together words for peace, enlightenment, and the salvation of humanity. Let us prove to the world that although war began before words, the end of the war is impossible without words of truth and justice. This is our mission in this dark hour of history. Thank you from the depths of my heart for your attention and your warm presence. Sayyid Mustafa Daryabari, 18 June 2026, Durban, South Africa. So if we invite the ambassador, you, the Mufti, just for the unveiling.
This is just for the launch of the book. Then, of course, Yunus Sakur is going to give a vote of thanks. Same time, he'll give you more information about the book and its availability. I would like also to call the Sheikh to also be there, and Brother Yaqub. You have spoken from your heart, and what you said resonates to us all over the world. Bismillah.
Mr. Program Director, before ending the session, I want to appreciate and thank sincerely you all, the people that participate in this event, and also special thanks from myself and from the Iranian Embassy and from the Islamic Republic of Iran to South Africa Palestine Movement, Islamic Forum, Palestinian House, United for Palestine, Women's Cultural Group, and especially Al-Ansaar Foundation. Thank you very much.
brother, this book goes to the foundation.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm not planning to do another News in Focus now, which is a long program, but I just want to make some pertinent points arising from my interview this afternoon with our Honorable Ambassador, where he mentioned some very important points. And because the listeners were ordinary housewives at the 2 to 3 program, he asked me to simplify the questions and at the same time make it easily understandable to our listeners. And one of the pertinent points he made was that the leadership of Iran made it clear to the military during the retaliation of the Israeli attacks and the USA attack subsequently, that do not target innocent civilians, women and children, which Israel and America did. Because when they cry, the Almighty reacts. And in that regard, when they retaliated, they always took the name of Almighty Allah before the retaliation took place. Because many of us seated here questioned that the superpowers were wanting to defeat all the countries in and around the Middle East. And here we have Iran as an underdog, as we call it, took them to task. And as our brother Jacob mentioned, they served them a dear lesson. And Donald Trump didn't want to accept defeat. But by declaring the ceasefire, he indirectly declared and accepted most of the negotiation points that were put. So, a big shukran to our brothers and sisters here. You took the name of Almighty Allah, you got His help, you didn't hurt any civilians, you didn't attack any civilian sites, you did the war in a fair way, and the help of Almighty came. So congratulations to the Iranian government for being, very mindful of the situation. On behalf of the Ansaar Foundation and our alliance partners, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone present this evening. I noticed the caliber of people present are activists, ulama, a lot of elderly people. And sometimes I raise the question, what's happening to our youngsters? They're not getting involved in politics, not getting involved in activism. I know Dr. Ahmed Mansour and others that were at a young age, they've been involved with the Muslim Youth Movement, Muslim Students Association, and we're activists of note. So we're going to have to start encouraging our youngsters, stop watching World Cup, stop watching too much of TV, stop getting involved in social media, stop loitering around in all the garages and socializing, start taking politics seriously in the various countries and get involved in these issues, because we heard about the xenophobia. I spent several days with the Malawian nationals that have embarked or converged sort of with fear at the Sherwood Park, and now they moved to drive-in site, and we're trying to sort that problem out. So it's important that, as a community activism, we try to help our brothers and sisters throughout the world of all race groups, and this applied to South Africa, because at the drive-in site and now earlier on the Sherwood site, there are a lot of human beings that are facing hardship, and we have to respond and assist them. To our guest of honor, His Excellency Ambassador Mansour Shakib Mehr, Jazakallah khairan for honoring with us with your presence and for sharing such profound insights on Iran, Hormuz, and the emerging world order. Your perspective was timely and invaluable. To Councillor Sayyid Mustafa Daryabadi, shukran for the cultural context you added to the discussion. To Advocate A.B. Muhammad, Senior Counsel, thank you for your eloquent opening remarks and for guiding us through the program with such clarity. To Dr. Ahmed Mansour, Jazakallah khairan for expertly facilitating the welcome and Q&A session. Typical assertiveness by a pediatrician very often. To our alliance partners, Islamic Forum, South Africa-Palestine Movement, Palestine House Center for Human Rights, United for Palestine, Indian Delight Recipe Book, publishers of Women's Cultural Book for the books, and Al-Ansar Foundation. Thank you for your unity and support in making this event possible. To our attendees, all of you present and many that left, your presence, your questions, and your engagements are what gives this program significance. Barakallah fikum. We also thank the Al-Ansar team behind the scenes for the venue and refreshments. Special thanks to Sister Zinat Khan in the back and Fatima Dilda. for spending weeks to put this together so that we have a very valuable program this evening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our gathering, increase us in beneficial knowledge, and unite us on truth. Ameen. Guests now are invited to stay around, have some refreshments in the back, and interact and meet and greet with our ambassador and others present. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Forgot you.
Thank you, Brother Jacobs.
I mentioned his name. I don't want to do something. Maybe he wanted to say something. I don't know. Yeah.
Next week. It's in the Ansaar bookshop.